Chicago, 2011. A cop is murdered. Police and prosecutors swear they have the trigger man. He swears he didn't do it. How far will each side go to prove they're right?
Like it's just one bombshell after another, where you're like, what?
The story of a PlayStation, a brain-eating amoeba, and the relentless pursuit of justice. Off Duty, out now. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
This message comes from Jackson. Taxes aren't something you can only think about once a year. With investments, planning for tax day is year-round. Fortunately, Jackson offers tax-efficient products. Visit jackson.com for more information on how our products can make your tax bill a little bit less painful. Jackson is short for Jackson Financial Incorporated, Jackson National Life Insurance Company, Lansing, Michigan, and Jackson National Life Insurance Company of New York, Purchase, New York.
Howdy, howdy, ho, and welcome to Fantasy Fan Fellas. I'm Hayden, producer of the Fantasy Fangirls podcast and your resident lover of all things Sanderson.
And I'm Steven, your bookish internet goofball, but you can call me the Smash Daddy.
And we are currently deep diving Brandon Sanderson's fantasy epic, Mistborn. But here's the catch. Steven here has not read Mistborn before.
That's right, hey. So each week, you'll get my unfiltered, raw reactions to every single chapter.
And along the way, we'll do character deep dives, magic explainers, and Steven will even try to guess what's next. Spoiler alert, he'll be wrong.
Newsflash, I'm never wrong. Episodes come out every Wednesday, and you can find Fantasy Fan Fellas wherever you get your podcasts.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Psych Legal Pop Podcast. This is a podcast where we talk about popular culture through the lens of an attorney and a therapist. I'm Brooke Brigham, I'm the attorney.
And I'm Tess Brigham, I'm the therapist.
And today we are going to be talking about the Netflix documentary, Amy Bradley is Missing. So this has been a very popular documentary and a lot of people talking about it. So we're going to put our 2 cents in.
Yes. And I think we are uniquely qualified, and I will explain in a second.
Okay.
Share everyone the synopsis.
Okay. Here's a little synopsis to get us started. Amy Lynn Bradley is an American woman who went missing during a Caribbean cruise on the Royal Caribbean International cruise ship, Rhapsody of the Seas, in late March 1998, while en route to Curacao. Her whereabouts remain unknown. A graduate of Longwood University, she was 23 at the time of her disappearance. On March 24, 1998, the ship's door lock system recorded Bradley returning to her family cabin at 3:40 a.m. after staying up dancing until late. Her father, Ron, awoke around 5:30 a.m. to see her sleeping on a deck chair. However, she was missing at 6 a.m. when authorities were alerted. The Netherlands Antilles Coast Guard conducted a 4-day search in the surrounding waters and along the cruise lines to no avail. Authorities began to speculate that she may have fallen overboard and drowned or died by suicide. In the years since her disappearance, there have been several claimed sightings of Bradley in Curacao, Barbados, and San Francisco.
Yes.
Didn't know that. While investigators have been unable to corroborate any of these sightings, they have fueled speculation that Bradley fell victim to foul play or human trafficking. The case has been presented on Dr. Phil and America's Most Wanted. In July 2025, the 3-part documentary series, Amy Bradley is Missing, was released on Netflix.
Okay. So we're going to go through the series, but we are going to move quickly and talk about the themes. But what I was going to say is, when I first started watching this, I'm like, why did we resist this documentary? Because I don't know if the audience knows this about us. We're cruisers.
We are cruisers.
We like to cruise. And we know a lot about cruises.
Well, we're not. I wouldn't say we were. There's some people who are like,
oh no, we're not like them.
We're not like mega cruisers. I've been on 7 cruises.
Wow. I think I've been on like 5.
I think you've been on 6 because there's only one that I went on that you weren't.
Okay, so 6. Yeah. I've been on 6 cruises. So
yes, and we've been to Curacao.
Yes, we have. That was the other thing too. We've been to Curacao. And do you remember when we went to Curacao? Because I had never, this made me really think about cruises in a different way. Mm-hmm. Because the thing is that I get exactly. At first, this woman, the woman that's, into, what's her name? Jamie Barnett, the cruise safety advocate. At first I thought like, oh, Jamie, I understand you lost your daughter. Like, I get where your frustration and anger comes from. But at the same time, I was thinking like, really, do we need an advocate? And then when they really started talking about it, you're like, you know what? You're right. Because the thing is, when you're on a cruise, you're on vacation, the cruise ship itself feels like a mini city. And because, it's a cashless society and everyone's contained on this boat, there's a little bit of this kind of not lawless feeling, but you're not like really worried about your purse laying on a table. Like, I wasn't worried about myself. I wasn't worried something was going to happen to me. I didn't worry about any of those things. And I think that's one thing that people, but versus if you went on a vacation and you just went to a bar in a foreign country, you might be a little bit more mindful of, where's my drink? Where's my purse? Where am I going? Am I intoxicated? Do you know what I mean? I think the ship gives you a sense of safety.
Yeah, I know. And actually, it really shouldn't.
Yes.
Because literally the ship is, lined with decks with some of those railings are shorter than others.
Yes.
I remember a couple times thinking, God, this is short, and yeah, I mean, I'm surprised more people don't die by falling off cruise ships. And I wrote down here, if you ever want to kill someone, take them on a cruise. Did someone say that in the beginning of this?
Yeah. I think so. And I think people have tried to kill people on cruises.
Well, yeah. And it's very hard to prove that they, because all you got to do is kind of push them overboard. And they have a lot of cameras. But if you can figure out, where the cameras are and get, a little corner where you can push someone over and like no one will see.
But because sex trafficking is an issue. It is a problem. It is, I think we don't quite see how it happens. And I think that this may be a way that, right, you've got a lot of young women in international waters. And, that's one of the other things they tell you, it's international waters. And it would make sense that you would try to get people on cruise ships to befriend young, attractive women and then maybe get them to go to a bar on the island and then get them separated from their family and create some sort of situation where they, feel trapped. I don't know. But
yeah, see, I don't buy that. I don't buy that. Why in the world? This just seems so difficult. Look, there are so many women out there just on the street that you can pick up and easily sex traffic. Why would you go through an elaborate scheme of getting a white American woman who's going to stick out like a sore thumb anywhere on these islands, right? To figure out a way to get her off the ship? That's insanity. I mean, okay. I have so many thoughts about this. I don't even know where to go. The father. Okay, so they're on this cruise. It's the mother, father, Amy, and her brother. Okay, they're all staying in the same room.
Yeah, that seemed odd to me. I thought they had two separate rooms at first, and I'm like, God, that's a lot of togetherness. But okay.
Yeah. So they're sharing a room, and so the father says he woke up at 5:30, sees that she's out on the deck, the balcony, on the chair on the balcony asleep. At 6:00, he gets up and she's gone. Okay, if you're a parent and your child is in your house, you never fully sleep. You do not. You are always aware. Are they here? Did they leave? Did they make it home? Where are they? He already woke up once and checked on her. Obviously. So what? Between 5:30 and 6, you were in such a deep sleep that someone was able to come into your room or she was able to leave the room. And you know how loud those cruise doors are?
Yeah.
You cannot sneak out. And I have an article I want to read from later about this whole, it's physics. Okay. It's like, because the hallways are pressurized. So that's why they tell you don't open the cabin door when the balcony door is open, because it creates this wind tunnel, and then the cabin door will slam. I mean, all you hear is doors slamming, slamming all night, and because that's just how it is. There's no way she could have left that room without her father, who just woke up a little bit ago, and he not hear anything, or anyone else in that room. There is just no way.
Yeah, that's why I kept thinking, okay, they've got to be in two separate rooms. They've got to be in two separate rooms. Like, because the whole time I'm thinking, wait, the mom, and it's 5:30, right? Nobody. And the other thing was that the two of them came in really late, like at 3:40 in the morning. She comes in. She and the brother are talking out on that balcony
and drinking. After she had been drinking all night. They said she was served 7 beers at the disco.
But the other thing was that, like, and they're smoking and drinking out on that deck. These rooms, even the nice ones, because we've stayed at ones where there's like a porch deck, it's still very tight. Yeah. It is very tight. I mean, the last one I went on was with Max, where he was half the size he is now, and Steve. And I felt like it was very tight for the 3 of us. So I can't imagine 4 full-grown adults and how tight that is. So the cigarette smoke, the 2 kids talking to each other on the deck,
right.
Like, you couldn't hear, like, this didn't disturb you or bother you and at all. I thought that was so odd. And then he gets up and he comes back inside, and each time, yeah, you're right, because the doors, whether it's the bathroom door or your estate door or the door leading to the balcony, they are pressurized, and exactly what you're saying, which is, and they slam, and they, you know, they're very thick and they click, you know, and it's, you're right. There's no way to be quiet,
right,
at all in that environment. So that's why hearing that they're in the same room, okay, you're starting to convince me, because I kept thinking they have to be in 2 separate rooms. They have to be in 2 separate rooms. There's no way. There's no way.
No, I'll read this analysis of it at the end where this guy explains it, the whole thing, and other evidence that the FBI found, like her palm prints on the railings, and then they found her footprints on the sliding glass door.
Oh,
almost like she was like straddling, you know, I don't know what she was doing. I think she was really wasted, and she fell overboard. I don't. I mean, we can talk about it.
Yeah,
but I don't buy any of this.
Well, and have you heard? I've also heard, because I guess Amy on Murder She Watched, she covered the show. Peggy was telling me about this. She covered the show, and she had listeners who were really invested, and she wrote in, and I guess she did a bonus on her Patreon, that a lot of more things have come out about the family, and that apparently the family, which, you know, the family is I guess the brother is very, very conservative, very MAGA, very like, and I knew the minute they mentioned her sexuality, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a problem for this family. And I was like, oh yeah, this is a problem for them. And I had a feeling. And so
that's a whole other dynamic.
That's a whole other dynamic that I don't feel like, and again, I think because the parents participated in this documentary, they couldn't explore that. Because I personally thought that the family, they are very indignant about how Royal Caribbean handled this. And I agree with Royal Caribbean. I do. I don't think that they mishandled, like, based on what they're describing to us.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that at 6:00 in the morning, because you can't find your daughter.
Right.
You need to shut everything down and
make an announcement over the loudspeaker that everyone hears.
Everyone hears, scares everyone, disrupts everybody else's vacation. I'm sorry, but the Bradleys, you are 4 people on this ship of thousands. Like, a police station wouldn't do this.
She could have met someone and hooked up with them or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she could be in a room somewhere.
Yeah,
you know,
she passed out in some other person's room that she was partying with. I mean, yeah, it could
She's
be
not
anything.
a toddler. Do you know what I mean? I could see I could see if the kid was like 2 or 3, you can't find them or whatever. I could see that, or can't communicate. But this is a grown adult that has officially been missing for an hour.
Right. And then when some time did go by, they did shut the ship down. They had every crew person like examine every nook and cranny of the ship. They didn't let anyone off or on, and they couldn't find her. They just couldn't find her. And here's the thing. The sad part about this is, the overarching thing is that this is a family who lost, their
Yes.
daughter, their sister, and it's tragic. And it's
Yes.
almost like they can't accept it. The fact that 20 years later, they think that, that they're going to find her. They can't accept that she's gone. None of these sightings or whatever are credible. There's just a bunch of creepy old men on beaches saying they saw her. The internet site and the IP address, all this kind of stuff. It's like you guys are grasping at straws here because they're heartbroken.
Yeah.
And it's a heartbreaking case. And
it is. When you really peel back and look at like the brother, Brad, I just got it that his name is Brad Bradley. I just put that together. Brad Bradley. If your last name's Bradley, why do you name your child Brad?
I don't know. They must have thought it was cute.
Okay. So anyway, Brad has never he said one of the reasons why he never had children was because he feared losing a child. And you think about these parents, so like 26 years, you have been searching for him. And whatever feelings I have about these parents, like, it is tragic. It is awful. This is every parent's worst nightmare. I get every single moment of why you have devoted all of this time and energy to this and this story, and this is what's going to keep you going. And at the same time, at what point do you keep fighting and fighting and fighting until either she shows up or her body shows up? Because again, I think the fact that her body never showed up, I can understand that. I can understand if you had a body, it would be different, but you don't have a body. And so it remains a mystery. But at what point do you have to say, I need to let this go and I need to live? Because these people are not living.
No,
they're not living.
They're doing this every day, all day. They have her suitcases that she brought on the trip still packed up in the attic with all of her belongings. I mean, they expect her to return.
Yeah. And again, I understand that. And I don't know, I really empathize because I don't know what state I personally would be in if this was me. But it's that part about this whole thing is so tragic. It is so, so tragic.
Yeah.
It just destroyed a whole family.
Yeah. And, and it's a warning. Like, I wonder how many people, this happens to every year.
And I get the sense that maybe this happens a hell of a lot more. I think it does, that it does get covered up. And I don't think the family's wrong about, what they kept talking about was that, right, this is international waters. So you have no police, but you have security on the ship. And who does the security on the ship work for? The ship. So who are they going to protect? They're going to protect Royal Caribbean. And I do believe, yes, that is true. But at the same time, these people aren't monsters. I think at the same time, it's a corporation, but I still feel like they're not in the business of losing people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they don't want to lose anybody.
They want people to want to come on cruises.
Yeah.
They're like, is this safe? Yeah, no. And then when the FBI came in, the FBI has all the resources in the world and they, investigated everything that they could. And they came to, they could not, they ruled out the guy, the musician, the yellow guy.
Yeah.
And that was so bizarre, like getting his daughter involved and her calling him to confront him about this. And the fact that they were at the disco. Well, let me tell you something. These guys on these cruises that work for the cruise line, they're supposed to fraternize with the guests. That's kind of part of their, they actually put men these lounges and bars to ask like women to dance, so they want people to have fun.
Yeah.
And so the fact that he's mingling with her or they went up to the disco and someone saw them in an elevator, that doesn't mean anything. I mean, this guy, and the fact that he had the pictures of the other women, I don't know. I mean, it's like, again, this is his job. he parties with people. He's
Mhm.
like in a band on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, we really, I mean, again, if they had some real proof,
they have
if he
nothing.
did something, so there had to have been, if this was a big trafficking ring, there had to have been some sort of connection between Yellow and the trafficking ring. And I don't think Yellow is a master
Master trafficker.
Yeah, that he has all these secret numbers. Like if this was a side gig of his, I feel like something would have shown up, or he would have been like, oh God, no, someone, I just get women's numbers and I just introduced her to him and I just moved away. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
This Yellow guy, I never quite understood his place in it. The one thing, I mean, I guess the one scenario I could see is if she got off on Curacao and she maybe wanted to party and, maybe hooked up with the wrong people and then ended up somewhere. I could see maybe that, like ending up with the wrong people on the island,
right,
getting into something that she can't get out of. But I also think that, unfortunately, I think that if she was trafficked, I think she'd be dead by now. Like, I know this sounds awful, but I kind of feel like these are high risk. It's a high risk thing to be in. Yeah. They do not treat women like humans. So my guess would be is the minute you get to be a little bit difficult and or old, I think they just get rid of you, or you OD, or so. Right. I don't even think, even if she was trafficked, she is not 50 now. Like,
yeah. The bending over backwards for all these theories, like some people were saying, so the ship was actually not in open waters. It was near the port. It was, I think it hadn't quite docked yet, but it was like, how they have to wait out in the area to be able to dock. So they were like 100 yards from the dock. And people are saying, well, it's not that far. She could have, if she fell over, she could have swam to the shore. What?
No.
She's on the 8th floor. Just the fall alone will kill you. Okay. Because that water is like cement if you're falling from 8 stories. Would have either killed her or knocked her out so that she couldn't. And she's still a little drunk or a lot drunk. And what? Oh, she's just going to go, oh, I'm just going to swim on over to shore here. I mean, in freezing cold water. And
yeah, no, I didn't believe that.
That's ridiculous.
But one of the Curacao policemen did say, he's like, I grew up here. I know these waters. He says, these waters are really, really rough. If she had fallen, her body would wash up. So I kept thinking, like, how, if she fell off, and I did think like she could have hit her head on the way down, or when she got
just
to
the impact of the
impact, she's drunk, disoriented. But then if she drowned, nothing's weighing her down. So wouldn't she, I would think her body would wash to shore. So that's one of the things, like, how is it her body never showed up?
I don't know. I mean, maybe an animal ate her. I don't know. Like, a lot of things can happen. I mean,
yeah,
I think don't initially you sink, and then when your body starts to, decompose, then that's when it like rises. I don't know. Again, she could have been, something could happen to her before her body could have washed up, or maybe it did wash up and no one reported. I don't know. Who knows? But I don't believe she was sex trafficked. That's a lot of trouble to go through for one, like I said, one white woman.
But Amy, God, she was like, she lit up a room, Brooke. She was excited. She was great. Who wouldn't want to traffic her?
They always do.
Yes. I'm always like, of course she lights up a room. Oh, Amy was so amazing. Amy was so wonderful, blah, 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 blah. And I just kind of kept thinking, I think
Amy's just kind of normal. Like,
yeah. And I also think Amy's kind of a drinker. And, she's just like a typical 23-year-old. I don't know. I didn't see, everyone was just raving about her. And I'm looking at these pictures going, she seems kind of okay. I'm sure she was lovely, but anyway, everyone just kept talking about how she lit up a room. yeah, I think, and then the other thing is the family, they go right to, I guess, the crew or whomever, and they write the minute the dad can't find Amy. And even then they were like, the guy said, yeah, we saw them. They came in. We said, we're not going to make an announcement, but why don't you go look everywhere, go check it out and come back in a half hour. If in a, they were being nice to her. They weren't like, oh, F you. They were just like, let's look one more time.
Right. Again, she's an adult.
They did a Charlie drill where the 800-person crew members all searched every nook and cranny and they could not find her. So,
well, here's
that's when they thought she jumped. Or
another critical point too is that when they realized she was gone, the balcony door was open like 12 to 14 inches.
Mm-hmm.
Her shirt was on the floor of the room.
Yes.
Okay. So Dad didn't mention that the door was open at 5:30. So how did the door get open? And why did she take off her shirt? Or like if someone's coming in to abduct her, which obviously they didn't.
No, that didn't.
No one made any. That would have woken everybody up. What? So she takes her shirt off and then walks out of the room. And again, you cannot get out of a cruise cabin without a massive amount of noise. It's impossible.
And also, she takes her shirt off, so she has like a bra on, and then does she get another shirt? That's very noisy. And also, this is your dad. And I wouldn't take my bra off in front of my father. Like, even today, do you know what I mean? I would go into the bathroom and change. So that seems odd, and what I did wonder was if she I wonder if her cigarettes fell. I wonder if a cigarette fell or her cigarettes fell and she thought she was trying to maybe get it with her shirt, like something. There's something that I just feel like
disoriented.
Yes, there's something that just something disoriented her to the point where everyone's like, the cigarettes are gone, so therefore she's gone. It's like, no, they could have fallen over, and she could have taken her shirt off, thinking, "Oh, I'll swim." I mean, there's a million different things.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, she could have just sort of had like a kind of a break with the combination of the alcohol and whatever. People talking about this case were saying that she had a big decision to make when she went home, whether she was going to come out to her family and be with this girlfriend, because so before she left on the cruise, she started a relationship with this woman. They both, they came out to each other. They were friends. They came out to each other. They were in love. Amy wrote her this love letter apologizing because she kissed another girl, whatever. And she said, when I come back from the cruise, they were going to, I don't know, start their lives. Yeah. Be together, be open. So it is confirmed that Amy she had not told her parents.
No,
right?
She had because remember, so she had come out to her parents because we meet another former girlfriend of hers. And that girlfriend says, I received a 3-page letter from Amy's father telling me how he felt about it.
Oh.
So this is one thing that, again, because I think the family participated in this.
Meaning he didn't like it? He didn't like it. Right.
Yes. So so basically she comes out as gay while she's in college. Her ex-girlfriend, Kat Lovelace, says that she told her parents were not happy. Dad wrote a 3-page letter to Kat. And that one of the reasons why she was drinking a lot was that then her friends admitted she drank to have the heaviness. Because the thing is that they all talked about how this was a very tight, close-knit family. And Amy, my guess would be, is Amy knew this about herself, knew that her parents were not going to be okay with this, were going to have feelings about it. She tells them. It sounds like that Kat Lovelace did not tell us what was in the letter, but it sounds like the dad was pretty awful. And so that's one thing that was not talked about and the parents don't even acknowledge it, of we were at a weird place because there was all this tension because we were having a hard time accepting this. Which again, I understand if the parents have a hard time accepting, I don't think you have the right to write anyone a 3-page letter, but I understand they were having a hard time accepting it. That's okay. But don't pretend like that wasn't really happening and that's
not a factor.
That's not a factor, or that this isn't maybe something that's creating tension with the four of you, especially if you're all sharing a cabin.
Yeah.
I don't know, I mean, and that's interesting too. You're on this family vacation and she just seemed to want to never be in the room.
Yeah.
So
we forgot to mention the cruise director.
Oh God, that guy. Yeah.
What was his name?
His name is Kirk Weller. Yes, he was the cruising. My job here on the cruise is to, he really enjoyed his job.
Well, I wrote down what he said when they were talking about, the search for her on the ship and all the activity and whatever. He says, well, life goes on, cruises go on.
Yeah. You just got to keep cruising, people.
You got to keep cruising. We looked for her. Couldn't find her. The cruise goes on. We gotta be
bingo.
We gotta be in St. Martin. We gotta be in St. Martin tomorrow. We're docking in the morning. We gotta go.
Yeah, well, and that is cruise life. It's just another port.
Yeah, cruise life is very regimented. The time, getting off and on the ship, all that kind of stuff. They'll leave you behind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they will leave you behind. When we went on that cruise, excuse me, to Mexico, Layla, she was 14. She had that gaggle of teen friends.
Oh yeah, she made best friend. Layla became best friends with the captain's daughter.
Yeah, the captain's daughter. And so there was a couple of teen boys who went, they got off the ship at some port, and one of them, didn't make it back on time because there were a bunch of time changes. Time zones kept changing.
Yeah.
And he got confused, and the ship finally said, we're leaving. And so the dad got off the ship, to find the kid, found the kid, and then they had to fly to the next port.
Mm.
I'd be so pissed.
I'd be so scared. And then I'd be pissed once I found my kid.
Yeah.
I'd be so scared, wandering around going, I hope I find my kid. But then I'd be mad once I found him.
I think they finally at first they couldn't get a hold of him by phone. But then I think towards the end they got a hold of him. But it was too late. He was too far away.
Mm-hmm.
He was not going to make it back to the ship. The ship was leaving.
Yeah. So. And that is in 1998 when Amy goes missing. It was a different time. There were cell phones, but people weren't glued to us.
People didn't have.
Yeah.
I didn't even get a cell phone until 1997, I think.
Yeah. That was 97. Yeah. But the phones were bigger, and you would maybe have them on here and there. It just was not how it is today. So yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. Anywho, these cruise directors, it takes a certain personality to work on a cruise ship, and then it takes a certain personality to be a cruise director
on top of that.
On top of that one. It really, really does.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Well, he's no Bingo Pete.
Oh no. We had the first cruise we went on, which was really nice. When we were in Curacao, that's, was we had a great cruise director, Bingo Pete. And he was great. He was
bingo every day.
Yeah. So do you think, because Brooke, when we went on that cruise through the Panama Canal, which is how, and then after we went through the canal, that's how we ended up in Curacao. Mm-hmm. You had quite a few admirers.
I did. I'm very popular south of the equator. Yeah.
And so, but do you think now, but you were saying, do you think that was all put on? Because I felt like that one guy who was the head maitre d' guy, he really seemed to like you a lot. Remember, we saw him on the island of Curacao, wearing his day wear. And he made it a point to go hide to you, even though he was on his time off.
You don't think he's just being a friendly,
I don't know.
Guest relations?
No, that could not be guest relations. Because I felt like that was real. I felt like that was a real love. Personally, I did not think that was put on.
Why didn't that ever happen? I was like childless and
because I think you were with Damon. I think you and Damon were together.
I think that was during an off period.
Brooke, you could have been cruising for the rest of your life with him. You guys could be maitre d's together, and because he had a high up job. You forgot his name. He was cute too. He had an important job. He really did. And then there was another guy, not as important as that first guy, that also liked you.
Yeah, I was pretty popular.
And remember when we went to on Curacao, the person offered you weed?
Oh yeah. Well, there was some guy. I think that was at St. Thomas. The minute I walked on the beach, he had a chair set up for me. He was bringing me drinks, talking to me, and then eventually the weed conversation came.
Yeah, we got a bunch of free drinks in St. Thomas. That was another thing too. Yeah. So we could have very easily gotten. That's why I was thinking maybe there was. And
you think they were trying to traffic me?
No. But that's what I wondered. I'm wondering because again, I am out of the age of trafficking at this point. No one wants an annoying 52-year-old talking about our menopause. But at that time, we were in our 20s. We were in our, as prime it was going to get.
I think I was like 30-ish.
But Mom was with us. Because remember, Mom was so excited to get all these free drinks. She's like, she liked whoring us out to these guys to get us free cocktails.
Okay, go get a drink for me. Go talk to that guy.
Yeah, kind of. But that
they really do work. They work the ladies. Yes. They do. But I don't think it's all sincere.
I feel like that one guy was sincere, but that's just me.
Maybe one
moment. Brooke, you blew it.
I blew it. I didn't even really realize it was happening. So.
Yes.
Oh, well.
So, Psych Legal Pop will be back after these messages.
Chicago, 2011. A cop is murdered. Police and prosecutors swear they have the trigger man. He swears he didn't do it. How far will each side go to prove they're right?
Like it's just one bombshell after another, where you're like, what?
The story of a PlayStation, a brain-eating amoeba, and the relentless pursuit of justice. Off Duty, out now. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Howdy, howdy, ho, and welcome to Fantasy Fan Fellas. I'm Hayden, producer of the Fantasy Fangirls podcast and your resident lover of all things Sanderson.
And I'm Steven, your bookish internet goofball, but you can call me the Smash Daddy.
And we are currently deep diving Brandon Sanderson's fantasy epic, Mistborn. But here's the catch. Steven here has not read Mistborn before.
That's right, hey. So each week, you'll get my unfiltered, raw reactions to every single chapter.
And along the way, we'll do character deep dives, magic explainers, and Steven will even try to guess what's next. Spoiler alert, he'll be wrong.
Newsflash, I'm never wrong. Episodes come out every Wednesday, and you can find Fantasy Fan Fellas wherever you get your podcasts.
Okay, so that's essentially the first episode is all of that. And then the second episode is called I Saw Her, or I Saw Her, or I See Her, where they basically talk about, they eventually leave. They left the cruise early. They leave when they're in St. Thomas. They go back home, which I also thought that was very surprising. If you think your daughter's there, why would you leave? But I guess they decided they couldn't do much. So they went back home, started this command center, and then every single day of their lives has been about, figuring out where she is. And so we get a bunch of stories. I don't know if we necessarily need to go through all of them, but we go through a bunch of stories of people that had spotted her.
Well, they think they spotted her.
They think they spotted her. Now, there are sadly, some real characters, because the guy staying next door to the Bradleys was creepy.
Mm-hmm. Remember that he was like peeking over the partition, like trying to talk to her. And
he goes on these cruises by himself, and he was next door. And so they both smoked. And so when Amy was smoking on the balcony, he would he was like, all you needed to do was just move your body over and stretch over and you could say hi to some. I mean, it was just like, and then I'm thinking, creepy. Is this how this happened? did he say, hey, let's come over on my side and party? And then she fell and he's like, oh, shoot. Uh-oh. I'm going to, that guy was weird. There was another guy. There was another guy who was in the Navy and in the military, and he ended up at a hotel that's off the beaten path. Do you know what I mean? Like
a brothel.
Essentially, this guy, he ends up in a brothel. He just never says that. He ends up in a brothel and believes he sees Amy. So,
yeah, I don't know. I just think there's so many attention seekers out there and who want to insert themselves in these cases. And, they see a documentary or something, and then they're somewhere and they see someone who remotely maybe looks like this person. And then those pictures they were showing, those
from 2005, a photo of Amy, of maybe Amy, resurfaces with her hair long. It looked like this 1980s
like
glam
a
shot.
Tawny Catanian or something.
Yeah. Photo. But what was I going to say? Oh, crap. But they do talk about how this area is a hotbed of trafficking. And you don't think, I'm not willing to let this trafficking thing go. You don't think that it's possible that you're a trafficker in this area, that maybe a white woman would be something worth trying to get if that's very rare in these brothels?
Okay, but like you said, if they were going to try to find someone to traffic, they would go to the local bar where the tourists are and find some white ladies and do it there. They're not going to pay someone who works on a cruise ship to smuggle someone off. And how exactly do you smuggle someone off a cruise ship? Because you had to go through and the crew too. Every time you go off and on the ship, you have to scan your card, and the crew does too. Because when the crew comes off, if they have a day off, they're there with you. You're talking to them. They go through the same security process. What? Someone stuffed her in a duffel bag and walked out with her?
No, I don't think that happened, because
they would take her from the town, not from the ship.
No one. I mean, the thing is, if for whatever reason someone hit her over the head and stuffed her into a duffel bag, you would have had to at least have other people that knew about it. One crew member could not sneak someone out, maybe 3 or 4, maybe. But then someone else would have come up and said, well, I helped him sneak the body out. I just feel like that would have come up by now. So yeah, I'm with you. The more we're talking about this, I do believe in the human trafficking part, but yeah, you're right. To get her from maybe Yellow was just kind of working her to work her, thought maybe he might sleep with her or something like that.
Yeah, he probably thought he might sleep with her. I don't know. She might give him some money, something. I don't know. This guy's a player.
Yeah.
He's working on this cruise. And the FBI said I think they gave him a lie detector test. They cleared him. They cleared him. So I don't believe that at all. And the fact they brought his daughter into this and.
Well, yeah. So that kind of, so those are all the people say they spot her. One person in Barbados, one person in Curacao, one person in, I don't know, somewhere else. I can't remember. And then so part 3 is called Message in a Bottle. And it starts by, we meet Amika, who is Alistair's, who's also Yellow, who's always been one of the prime suspects. We meet her and she hears about the case and she wants to know about it. And apparently her mom, so this all happened before Amika was even born. And apparently the dad regularly went away for a while to be on these cruise ships. This is how he made a living. And Amika's mom told her that when your dad got back from this cruise, he was really upset. He was angry and he came home with a bunch of pictures of white women, pictures of white women. And so that's always made Amika kind of wonder. And so she reaches out to the Bradley family and then they have her in this documentary. And then I was like, I hate this expression, but this really was a nothing burger because basically we just see her calling her dad, and her dad again is very defensive, which I always feel like is a little, I always feel like, when people are too defensive, I do wonder about that. But the dad just denies everything. And that's that. That's that.
Yeah.
Like,
no, they're
okay.
there.
Yeah. But yeah, and then we meet Molly, who's Amy's the ex-girlfriend who has the message in the bottle, and, you know, just about their whole thing and this long distance relationship. And I mean, again, and I think obviously for Molly too, I mean, people are left, you know, Molly's left wondering, like, could this have been the love of my life?
Mm-hmm.
You know, would this have been someone that I knew for a minute, or would this have been the great love? And you're sort of, and I do, and I feel for her because she too is in some ways stuck in time with the message in the bottle,
Right.
stuck in this place. I don't want to seem cruel or that I'm not empathetic to their situation, but I just feel like I feel like because of the parents' presence, I don't know if we got the full story.
Yeah.
That's what I wonder.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's enough was presented, you know, to me to kind of debunk all of these theories that somehow she's still alive or whatever. But it's just that these people have crafted such a story and a narrative and a thing about, you know, it's just, this has just ruined their lives, and they'll never stop, I don't think.
No, I don't think they ever, I mean, if her body hasn't washed up or come about now, I don't think it ever will. You know, whether she was trafficked or not, I don't think she's still alive. There's just no way she could still be alive. And yeah, and I do. And listen, I do wonder, I might research this afterwards. I'm very curious of like, what is the best thing for these parents to move on, or is the best thing to continue to let them be wherever they're going to be?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and what did you think about the thing with the IP addresses and the website?
Yeah. So that was that was the end of the third episode. Then kind of moved into, because we fast forward that, you know, the case kind of was sort of dormant, like stuck for a long, long time until the true crime, until YouTube, and now everybody's got a podcast and everyone's talking about this, and that this story got sort of breathed new life into it. And yeah, so I guess this guy created a website called Amy Bradley is Missing. And then he and another guy who says that he saw Amy on the beach 20 years ago, the two of them together.
Yeah, how did they find each other?
Yeah, that was weird. And they're tracking IP addresses. So there's these different theories of like, who is going back and revisiting, you know, who's the person that looks up Amy's picture every Thanksgiving, every birthday, every anniversary, and which I thought was a smart idea to kind of see like who's visiting the website, isn't that? But again, they didn't learn anything from it, because they were like, well, is this the person that hurt Amy, or is this Amy, or is this just a creepy person?
It's just random people who, like, you know, now that the story's back in the headlines, you know, people are going to the site, and just because some of the hits, it's not like all the hits happen on her mom's birthday or all the hits happen on Christmas, but it just so happens that some are these dates.
But I think what they were looking for were people that were regularly, like, who's the person that came in 2001 and then, or whenever this was built, let's say 2018, who visited it on Thanksgiving in 2018? And I thought they were comparing that to who visited it on 2019. Did the same person who visited it on 2018 on Thanksgiving visit on 2019? And why would they? But again, how would Amy, if she was being moved around and trafficked, I don't see how she could have visited these sites. I don't think she was alive by 2018, I'll be honest with you. And so even if it was her, that's odd too. Like, how would she be able to do that if she was so closely controlled?
Yeah. So, just say, yeah, I need to use the computer today.
I need to check my website. Please missing.
I need to catch up with my family and check this website.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
watch something come. Watch they find her next week.
And then we're the real assholes.
Yeah, total
She's been
asshole.
trafficked this whole time she's alive, and we're just very negative about all of it. But
we're jerks.
It definitely makes you look at cruises twice. I mean, this is what a few people were saying, like between the poop cruise and the...
I know. And I'm going on a cruise in December. And
oh, you are? Where are you going?
God. I'm going with some of my friends from my sorority it's just like one of those 3-day cruises, like from LA to Ensenada.
Ooh.
But exciting. it's on this one of those big, huge mega ships that like the entire top floor is like all like water slides.
Oh God.
This is going to be...
I think you guys will be okay. I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't know if people are going to want to kidnap a gaggle of 50-year-old
No one's going to try to traffic us. That's for sure. Absolutely no one. Just have to try not to fall overboard.
Yes.
Don't drink too much.
Can you imagine trying to traffic a bunch of 50-year-olds who are just like, I can't do it right now. It's too late. I'm tired. I'm just like, I'm getting hot flashes, or I don't know. I mean, I don't know. How would that work?
Nobody cares about us. Okay, so there's this guy. His name is James Renner, and he's working on a new book about the case.
Oh, okay.
And he believes that she went overboard, and this is his argument.
Sorry, as an accident or suicide? Like an accident. She accidentally fell over.
Well, let me read it. It's kind of a combination. Okay, so Renner said that he has studied small but important details left out of the recent Netflix documentary, Amy Bradley is Missing. One key fact he points to is that the balcony door of the cabin was found open the morning she vanished. This, Renner explains, would have made it impossible for Amy to quietly leave the room without waking everyone. This is due to how cruise ship cabins are pressurized. They make a big point of saying the balcony door was open, but then suggest Amy left the room without telling anyone. If you've ever been on a cruise ship, you'll have seen warning signs telling you not to open the cabin door when the balcony door is open. The hallway is pressurized. If you open the cabin door while the balcony door is open, it creates a wind tunnel and the cabin door slams shut hard. Some people have lost fingers because of it. You cannot quietly leave with the balcony door open. It would have woken everybody up. Renner believes Amy was still on the balcony, sitting on the railing with her feet pressed against the glass. When she pushed off, he thinks this may have led to her going overboard. During his research, Renner spoke with cruise staff who said the FBI found Amy's palm prints on the railing and her footprints on the balcony's glass door. This physical evidence, he argues, strongly suggests she was perched there before she vanished. She'd been drinking, she was dealing with personal struggles, and she had a huge decision weighing on her mind. He referred to her recent coming out and fear of how her family might react. Once someone goes overboard in open seas, survival chances are slim. If you go into the water from that height, in those conditions, you have maybe a 20% chance of survival. And that's only if you're spotted right away, he explained. Let's see. Renner notes that there's no verified case of a white woman being trafficked from the Caribbean.
Okay.
And it would be very risky for traffickers. I don't think she ever came off that balcony alive, he said. It's a heartbreaking possibility, but after ruling out other theories, it's the one that makes most sense to me.
And
so why was she perched? Why was she perched between the railing and the glass door? What was she doing? Was she just...
I don't know. And so...
drunk?
Yeah, I mean... And also, why would you put your bare feet on a glass door? Like, that's kind of gross. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. And that's why I keep thinking, was she in some weird position? Like, she takes the shirt off and she's pushing, she's got her back to the water. And is she trying to trying to wedge her body up where she's sitting on the railing, even though there's a bar there, and then she's putting her feet on the glass. And that's what I want. I wonder if she has like a cigarette in her hand, and then she grabs a thing and she topples over, like, you know?
Yeah.
But again, why wouldn't the family, like, that's the other part.
Why didn't they hear all that?
Why didn't they hear all that if that's the other part of it. It's like, wouldn't you hear
It's
that?
happening like 2 feet away from you. And, you know, the bed, you know, they must have had like 2 double beds or, you know, and so the beds are like right there, just right next to the, I mean, yes, such a small space.
But the water, I will say, it depends on how fast the boat is cruising. Because, you know, when they're trying to make up time, which they do, like sometimes they're like, we got to get there. They will haul ass on those ships. Like, do you remember sometimes when they're like last day when they're trying to get back to port, they will haul ass. So that's the other thing too, is I wonder if the wind it was hard to hear. I mean, is it possible that
port? They were in port.
Yeah, you're right.
They were 100 yards from land.
So
I think they were lingering there, like waiting to pull in.
Yeah, that's true. Because these islands, they had just been in Aruba. So they're going, these are the ABC islands. So they're just going over to Curacao, which it doesn't take that long. So, and they left at night. So they kind of like very easily sailed. I don't know. I mean, I don't think anyone in the family had anything to do with it. But there's this other problem. It's like, did the brother push her over? Like, and like, is he a weirdo and has just spent his whole life like pretending? I don't know. It's so weird. It makes no sense.
So weird. I just think something happened where it's a combination of alcohol, being disoriented somehow, and she just went over. Sometimes it doesn't take much. Sometimes it's not as hard as you might think. People drown in swimming pools in complete silence.
Yeah.
And when nobody notices, like you can very easily like just kind of slip, I don't know.
The other thing that wasn't talked about a lot was, the brother had been out partying too. Were the parents drinking? Because maybe that explains you not hearing a lot of this. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Like, is it possible that again, I'm with you. I don't think she snuck out again, but I do wonder, right? Just the way, everything that you're saying, like as a parent, wouldn't you notice if your kid was there or not there and all of this? The only way I could see how clueless everyone was is everyone hammered.
Yeah, because if the dad gets up at 5:30 and he goes back to sleep, he you're not fully going to be asleep, because he gets up at 6. Did he really get up at 5:30? Was he mistaken about that? If he woke up and found her on the patio, why didn't he say, come inside? Or I don't know. Like,
well, he says that he sort of woke up in this like, state and said, I saw her legs on the thing. It's possible that you didn't. It's possible that she fell over before that. You thought you saw that.
Right. You thought you saw
something
that looked like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because and that's the other part of it too, is I believe that people believe that they saw Amy, but I'm with you. It's very, very hard to put a lot of stock in these stories of meeting this person after you heard about it on, you hear about it on Phil, Dr. Phil.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just, you have this insane interaction with her. I don't know.
Yeah. Those people didn't seem very credible. I think they just wanted, to be in the limelight and, try to be important for a minute.
Yeah. But I can also think that maybe maybe that the one woman that thought she saw Amy in a bathroom, I could see like, maybe you thought you saw something, maybe something weird was going on. Maybe it was this, maybe you believe she said, hi, I'm Amy, or maybe you thought you heard a Southern accent. Like that's what they all talked about. Like she said her name was Amy. I heard a Southern accent. I heard this, I heard that. Or she looked at me like this.
The family didn't have a Southern accent. Why would she have a Southern accent?
I don't know, but this is what people were describing.
So there goes that theory.
I don't know. The mom had an accent. I mean, the mom did. I felt like they did. And they're very subtle. And that's what people said, a kind of a subtle, they're from Virginia, right? So subtle accent. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Anywho.
Well, this was more interesting than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because at first I was kind of like, But no, it was good. It was interesting.
And then I was like, why are we resisting this? We are cruisers. We love to cruise.
We love to cruise.
We have a very, very unique take on this. Of, I don't know, just people that have been on a cruise.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how many more cruises I think I'll go. I mean, it is a super fun thing to do as a family. If you have a large family and because this is what our grandfather took us on a bunch of cruises, and it was like a way for the family to get together and everyone to see each other. And I think it's great for that. But other than that, or going to Alaska, I always tell people go to Alaska.
Yeah, that's the only way you can see that.
Yeah,
stuff.
it's a great place. A great way to see Alaska is with a cruise. But other than that, I don't know. I don't know. I
really love that Panama Canal cruise.
Yeah, that was great.
It was so relaxing.
Yes.
And it was warm. It was in December, so but it was warm. And
we were on a very small ship. We were on a very nice, small, fancy ship.
Well, that's the nice. Thing. Yeah, we always went on these like Holland America. It's not like a Carnival cruise. There's no there's not like party on the Lido deck.
Yeah, there's no limboing and Bingo Pete was pretty much the only.
It's just people, like old people eating and drinking, and but yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this one in December is.
Yeah,
that's going to be a party cruise. I have a feeling.
Ooh.
But yes, I'll give you a full report.
Yes.
Probably on our Patreon episode.
Yes.
Which is where we talk about personal stuff. So if you enjoy us and you want to hear more from us and learn more about our lives and cruises we've been on. And
these cruise stories.
We've got some cruise stories.
Oh, we've got more cruise stories for you.
We have a ton of cruise stories. So yeah, join us over on Patreon. We do a weekly bonus episode. You get all of the free episodes ad free. And we do a monthly true crime and ask us anything for our higher tier. And just to support the podcast in general, if you could subscribe, leave us a 5-star review, rating. What else? You can find us on YouTube. You can subscribe on YouTube, get notified when new episodes drop.
Yes.
And the social medias.
Yes.
All the social medias, except for that one. We're not on X.
Yeah.
Or
but
Truth
we're on Blue
Social.
Sky. What?
Or Truth Social.
Oh, yeah. We're not on that either.
Is that, I don't even know what that is.
No, it is.
Is that a real social media thing?
It is. It is. And actually, speaking of, people can leave if they want, but speaking of, have you been following Gavin Newsom?
Every day, all day.
Have you been seeing how he's trolling? And
yes.
I kind of feel like, I think what he's doing and saying is absolutely, I feel like this is the only way to cut through the noise, because what people are saying to him is like, hey, what's up with your social media? It's like all caps. And do you think this is okay? And he's kind of looking at everyone going, okay, so what? You've accepted this from Trump for years. Mm-hmm. All Gavin's doing is the exact same thing. All caps, crazy claims, all this kind of stuff. And so why is it that now there's a problem with this? I kind of feel like in some ways you kind of have to, this is the only way something's going to change, right? Is because the other ways aren't working. People aren't getting it.
Yeah. Oh, and then there's this Hunter Biden interview that seems to be like 27 parts that he did with some guy on YouTube or something. I guess he was talking about Melania, saying that Melania introduced Trump and Epstein, or Epstein introduced Melania to Trump, and it was this transactional thing, and she was not a model. She was trafficked. Yes. She was brought over here, but willingly. She wanted to come here and find a rich American. And so yeah, too bad she screwed that up.
Yeah.
But she so he's talking about this, and so now she's threatening to sue him for $1 billion.
Oh, okay. And Trump says that's his idea. He's like, I told her to sue him for $1 billion.
Yes. And so the guy was asking Hunter Biden about that, and he's like, "Oh, fuck Melania, fuck this." Like, yes, thank you. Finally, somebody just say it.
Yeah, this is what we gotta do. I mean, I'm sorry. Like, what did Jennifer from I've Had It? McCankle's taco tits? Yeah, I think he has been saying these things for 10 plus years or longer than that. He has been making comments about people and their appearances and how they all of this,
his whole life.
His whole life. So he bought beauty pageants so he could comment on women's bodies. Yes. So
what kind of a monster does that?
Yeah. So I'm fine with taco tits.
Yeah. Anyway, we probably just lost a whole bunch of
people were going to sign up for Patreon and then they're like, unsubscribe.
No. Oh, well, yeah, I will warn you. Don't waste your money on Patreon. If you were offended by this last couple of minutes, then just keep your money.
Yeah, because Patreon's not going to be for you.
It's not for you.
Sorry.
You will not enjoy it.
But if you chuckled at
yes,
taco tits,
this is just a little taste of,
what it's like over there. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, everyone.
Thanks you.
So much.
Bye.
This message comes from Jackson. Taxes aren't something you can only think about once a year. With investments, planning for tax day is year-round. Fortunately, Jackson offers tax-efficient products. Visit jackson.com for more information on how our products can make your tax bill a little bit less painful. Jackson is short for Jackson Financial Incorporated, Jackson National Life Insurance Company, Lansing, Michigan, and Jackson National Life Insurance Company of New York, Purchase, New York.
Howdy, howdy, ho, and welcome to Fantasy Fan Fellas. I'm Hayden, producer of the Fantasy Fangirls podcast and your resident lover of all things Sanderson.
And I'm Steven, your bookish internet goofball, but you can call me the Smash Daddy.
And we are currently deep diving Brandon Sanderson's fantasy epic, Mistborn. But here's the catch. Steven here has not read Mistborn before.
That's right, hey. So each week, you'll get my unfiltered, raw reactions to every single chapter.
And along the way, we'll do character deep dives, magic explainers, and Steven will even try to guess what's next. Spoiler alert, he'll be wrong.
Newsflash, I'm never wrong. Episodes come out every Wednesday, and you can find Fantasy Fan Fellas wherever you get your podcasts.
Acast powers the world's best podcasts. Here's a show that we recommend.
Hey guys, welcome to Giggly Squad, a place where we make fun of everything, but most importantly, ourselves. I'm Paige DeSorbo. I'm Hannah Berner. Welcome to the squad. Giggly Squad started on Summer House when we were giggling during an inappropriate time. But of course, we can't be managed. So we decided to start this podcast to continue giggling. We will make fun of pop culture news, we're watching, fashion trends, pep talks where we give advice, mental health moments, and games and guests. Listen to Giggly Squad on Acast or wherever you get your podcasts.
Acast helps creators launch, grow, and monetize their podcasts everywhere. Acast.com.